Hey, what's up guys? Alex here with a new video, and today we're taking a look at a lens that isn't out yet. I'm not even sure it's announced. I haven't really seen anything. We're taking a look at the new Viltrox 27mm f1.2 lens for the Sony E-Mount. If you're new to the channel, I am a portrait photographer based out of Miami, Florida, and I've actually done a video on this lens before. I reviewed this lens, or I did a first impressions on this lens for the Fuji X-Mount a few months ago. And in that video, I said this lens is full frame quality on an APS-C lens. And does that statement stand with Sony? I was super excited to try it out because Fuji has improved their autofocusing algorithms over the years, but when you think about AF, Sony is still king. And when you think about 1.2 glass, it really requires the best autofocus, which meant pairing this lens with a Sony E-Mount, I was expecting potentially a better experience. And I can say this experience is similar. The optics are still phenomenal, and I'm really happy with this lens. So I will be playing images throughout the video that I've shot with this lens. I will include some with the Fuji as well, so you can see the image quality. This lens right now for the Fuji version retails for $545. Like I mentioned, there is no product launch yet for the E-Mount version, so I'm not sure if the pricing will be the same. The lens has changed a little bit for Sony E-Mounts. So Viltrox actually added a few things. First of all, they added a customizable button on the left-hand side of the lens, so you can customize this button to do whatever you want. They also added a switch to declick your aperture, which means if you're using this lens for video, you can now declick your aperture ring as you go through the aperture range. Two very nice features to have. The next one is a cosmetic feature. So this lens does have a weather sealing gasket at the bottom, and for the E-Mount version, that weather sealing gasket is orange to match the Sony orange. Nice little touch. But other than that, the optical formula, size, and weight is identical, which means this lens is not small. I took this lens and I shot it with my Sony A7CR. That's a full frame camera at 61 megapixels, but can shoot at APS-C 26 megapixels. And that was what I used for the camera. Another reason why I love that camera, it's just so versatile. Anyways, I took this lens out for the weekend. I shot it at SeaWorld and with some friends, did some portraits, did some Instagram content for them, and the lens blew me away. At 1.2, this lens is extremely sharp. As a matter of fact, if you shoot at 1.2, the only thing you're sacrificing is a little bit of vignetting in the corners. As of today, this lens does not have a lens profile in Lightroom, and I'm sure when that comes out, that will be easily fixed. But you're getting incredible sharpness at 1.2, and I mentioned this in my Fuji first impressions video. You're really getting full frame quality on APS-C. What I mean by that is you're getting that full frame look, that bokeh on an APS-C sensor. So it is really an incredible lens because you're able to replicate that. I think the most impressive part is you're able to get that full frame look at a $545 price point, or at least for the Fuji version. And that is really crazy. I also compared this lens again on the Fuji version with a Sony 35mm G Master to see how it would hold up. And they were almost identical. A $545 lens versus a $1,500 lens. And that is just wild to me. This is part of Viltrox's Pro lineup, which means this is like their best build quality, their best glass, and it shows. So what are the cons? Because I keep saying all the good things. Well, the cons is you get full frame quality, you also get full frame size. This lens is huge. I would show you against a 35 1.4, but I'm actually using it. So let me grab my 50mm 1.4 G Master and show you. Here I have the Sony 50 1.4 G Master full frame lens, Viltrox 27 1.2 APS-C lens, and they are practically identical. As a matter of fact, the Sony might feel a little lighter, and that is absolutely wild. This lens is massive. So when you look at the fact that you have 1.2 glass, of course it's going to be larger. When you look at the fact that this lens is close to perfect from a performance standpoint, sharpness, chromatic aberrations. It is going to be bigger, so you are sacrificing that size and weight. Where it's a bigger bummer is the fact that most APS-C bodies, especially on Sony, are on the smaller side. So when you put a bigger lens, it will be uncomfortable. Of course, you can also do what I did, use a full frame body in APS-C mode. It's not so bad there. Another cool thing you can do here with Sony is using it on the FX30 or their cinema cameras, and then you're talking about a whole different experience because you're getting 1.2 glass for video. Kind of changes the ballgame a little bit as far as low light capabilities and what you're able to do with it. Overall though, I think if you own APS-C, you have to have this lens in your kit. It's such a versatile lens. It's a 27mm, but an APS-C is a 40mm equivalent, which is right between a 35 and 50. So it's not quite telephoto. It's not super wide. It's kind of just in this weird sweet spot. And for me, it took some time to get used to, but once you get used to it, you kind of get like the best of a 35 and the best of a 50. So it is a nice focal length. We'll see what the price point is when it launches, but if it stays at 545 bucks, like I mentioned, it's hard not to pick this lens up and have in your kit. Like I do with all my videos, guys, I am including samples for you to download down below so you can check out the image quality, the sharpness, and what to expect if you were to pick up this lens. And once it becomes available, I will also provide the links to pick it up in the description down below. If you also like the editing I use in the images, I do sell my presets and they're available in my website. You guessed it, in the link down below. As always, guys, please press the like button, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Peace.